What's going on, my friends? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very good day. Today I thought I'd try something kind of cool. The other day, by the way, this is my micro Paludarium. I'm going to show it to you guys in a minute. So the other day I was playing around with a couple of moss species that you can find in one of my terrariums. You can't see it very clearly over here because of the plastic and the condensation. It's that one over there, that one that looks like a little flower, and it's impossible to focus right now. Anyway, I'm going to show it to you here because I actually planted a couple here, and I actually planted a couple here in this other little Ferrero Rocher box. This is like a propagation station for mosses that I actually really like, and that I want to continue using in my future builds. So this is my micro Paludarium, and this is what it looks like at the moment. You can see that it's nice and green, and that one in particular is the little moss species that I tell you I intend to use in this build. You can see it as like a little flower. Let's see if we can focus a little bit more. You know, that one over there. It's really cool. The little stalk from where it comes elongates, and it looks like almost like a little palm tree, like a little tree. So it's really cool. So this is what my build looks like at the moment. There's a little island over there with moss. The Eliocharis has been continuing to grow. You can see a little bit of biofilm because this was actually colonized by lots and lots of little springtails, and for some reason the surface tension allows for them to travel around in the water, on the surface of the water. Let's see if we can see, oh, you can see one over there moving, another one over there, but you can see the water level over here. Over there, I think, where are they? There's a couple of snails here. They are the ones keeping algae in check. Otherwise, the little plants are growing. You know, the moss, as you can see, is nice and green. Look at this. There's another little sprig of Eliocharis growing over here. So overall, this is a very successful experiment. And so I thought today I'm going to do something similar, but the submerged part of the build is going to be right there in the middle. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. We can cover this, and I'm going to tell you where I got the inspiration from. We can see it here in this little propagation box. I'm going to open this, and I'm going to have my little tongues at the ready. It's this little rock over here. It's a little piece of volcanic rock where I planted that moss that I just told you about. It's now, growing there. Absolutely no problem. Let's see, there we go. And it's beautiful, There's some dust in my screen, so that's why I can't focus. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Anyway, there we have it. You see how cool that is? Maybe if I put it back, we can see better. But anyway, that's where I got the inspiration from. I'm gonna do a terrarium, or in this case a paludarium, where moss is gonna be growing directly on top of rocks, and those rocks are gonna be emerging from the water level. So like I told you, this is a little box where I got species that I want to propagate, and we can see that I've got a nice compacted soil, nutrient heavy soil where they can grow and grow. So let's take a look at the materials that I have for this build, and then we can continue. Yeah. So here we are. These are the materials that I'm going to use. I've got this type of rock that I've used before in several builds. It looks kind of like a a flint stone, you know. It's very brittle, but it's very hard. And, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wall stuff method because I want to grow aquatic plants in the actual container. So I'm going to use sort of like the classical, you know, gardening soil at the bottom and then aquarium gravel on top. And this is the container that I'm going to use. I found it, you know, by chance a couple of days ago, and I thought it was perfect, you know. I thought it was perfect because it's clear, it's got the lid already, a cork over there. It's got nice size, but still it's going to be like a micro build. And so I thought it was really, really cool. Anyway, so let's see how it turns out. So right there in the middle, I'm going to have like a little opening where there's going to be a couple of bucephalandras, mini bucephalandras. And on the sides, I'm going to use these little rocks, you know, to build sort of like a couple of walls. And in the middle, a nice island like the one I just showed you where moss is going to grow. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and put the initial layer of gardening soil and then the aquarium soil, and then we can continue placing the stones. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the initial layer is there. The wall start method part of the build is there. So now it's just a matter of taking my tongs here and using them to build the side walls over here. Now, what I want to do is create first like a very stable base onto which I can start piling up the other rocks. You know, this is going to be fairly high, so I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to turn it around a little bit just so that I don't have this little, you know, ridge that comes from the blowing of the glass. But yeah, I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's already completed. You know, the hardscape. Okay, so here I go. Okay, I think we're halfway there. You can see there's it's a little bit of a Jenga game going on over here. But yeah, I think I want to build them a little bit higher on both sides, and then I'm going to place a little island in the middle. Yeah, and so I'm going to cover the rocks with moss, and I'm going to use this water bottle to fill this up until I've got a nice water level, and then I'm going to plant the aquatic plants. Yeah, so I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead. So here we are. I decided to change it a little bit. I decided that instead of piling the rocks, I was going to use them vertically, so I can better convey the idea of this being like mountains, like cliffs, you know. And now in the middle, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the camera down real quick. Here we go. In the middle, what I want to do is I want to add another stone. Let me just select it real quick. Let's see. I think it's going to be this one, you know, that I'm going to place in the middle like a little island over here. Oops. Maybe like so. Well, maybe a little further back so I have space to put my aquatic plants in. Yeah. So let's see. Over here. As they say, it's in the details, right? Just messed up the others. So just because I can see the entire rock, that means that sometimes when I push them down, you know, I disturb the other arrangements. So continue toying with this, and then I will show you what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we can see that the hardscape changed a little bit more, yeah. And this right here will be the new island. That one over there. I selected that little stone because it has sort of like a flat surface right there, and so because I want to plant moss in this little spot, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that just because it's so difficult to plant moss in such a confined space, in such a limited space. So the next step will be to plant the Bucephalandras, the moss. I'm going to show you a little bit of how I do that, and then we can call this a day, okay? We can see that we already have the Bucephalandras ready here. This is one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them here. One over there. And there's another one over here. They already have roots. They're already established. So this is going to be like a kelp forest that's growing beneath the capes. Yeah. Yeah. We can see that this is another angle of my micro paludarium. So yeah, that's the Bucephalandras. Let's plant those, and then we continue taking some more cuttings. So I'm already planting the moss. You can see that it's already covering that stone over there, although the condensation from the glass makes it a little bit difficult to see. That's because of the soil, The soil sometimes keeps heat, It retains heat from the environment, and so when you use it, it releases that heat and the condensation can be visible. That's why it's so blurry. So this is the last step before I show you what it looks like when it's finished. Maybe I might show you what I do to plant that little parasol or little tree moss that I intend to plant there in the middle. But that's pretty much it, because it's kind of difficult. I got to tell you, this isn't the easiest build that I've ever done, So yeah, but I got a feeling that it's gonna look good in the end. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how to plant the little tree, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, see you in a bit. So the first step, as we can see here, is to take a little bit of gardening soil, ghetto soil, or a mixture of 50 parts gardening soil and clay, and apply it there in the rock. Yeah. And the second part will be to add the moss. And that's what we can see here. Yeah. So it's just a matter of coming in. And there we go. Yeah. So I'm going to plant this, and yeah, I'll continue until I finish. See you in a bit. And we can see this is the final result. Yeah. We can see that the water looks a bit murky. In addition to the Bucephalandra, I also planted this little, what's it called? I don't know if it's a little terrarium plant. In fact, I have my original Ferrero Rocher box terrarium over here. And, sorry, it's this little plant over here. That one over there. Yeah, that one over there. So we can see it here, planted here, and this is the overall look. I think if I were to change a little something, would be the amount of gardening soil at the bottom. I always go a little heavy on the organic material, and that could be a problem in the future, but overall I think this was a success. The vision that I had is somewhat there. Can't wait to see how it evolves in the future. The little cork is there already in place, and now it's just a matter of leaving it like this. Keep it under bright light. Glare is killing me as usual, and just leave it be. If in the future you experience problems with algae or whatnot, you can add a little, one tiny little snail that can deal with the whole situation. Yeah, and of course springtails for the moss. As you saw in my, in the opening scenes of this video, springtails do very well in this micro paludariums as well. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions, doubts, comments, anything, drop them down below. Please subscribe. That's very important for me, and for the channel overall. So comments, questions, doubts, anything, drop them down below. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.